So according to Barbershop Conversations, Terence Crawford contract with Top Rank should be over by 2020. So if that's the case, Terence Crawford only really has one more fight under the contract, which is his next upcoming fight. I doubt they could squeeze in 2 more fights. So if that's the case, Terence Crawford better use his leverage, and just like how Tyson Fury signed with Top Rank and ESPN for like an $80 million contract thanks to a Wilder rematch, and he really didn't bring nothing to the table other than that, Terence Crawford shouldn't re-sign with ESPN or Top Rank for less than $100 million, because he got Errol Spence fight on the line, he got a possible Keith Thurman fight on the line, a possible Danny Garcia fight on the line. So many fights on the line if he goes to the PBC. However, if he stays with ESPN, they better pay him that bag, because at this point, they're not even willing to pay his opponents decent money so he could get Kell Brook in the ring for his own sake instead of fighting a fighter that's unknown. And he's only getting paid, I think, $3.5 million, which is not bad, but is not what he deserved. If he's the #1 pound for pound boxer in the world, he should be getting at least $5 to $10 million a fight every time he steps in the ring. And I believe Terence Crawford is capable of becoming a superstar in the sport. However, he just needs these big fights with the Sean Porters of the world, the Danny Garcia of the world, the Mikey Garcias, and the Errol Spence. However, in order for him to get these fights, all these fighters I just named, from Keith Thurman to Pacquiao to every big name at the welterweight division, is signed with the PBC. So I just don't understand why Terence Crawford stays loyal to Top Rank and ESPN when they treat him badly. I mean, it's not even like they treat him good and you're trying to stay loyal to a company that's treating you tremendously. However, when a company is promoting another fighter during your own pay-per-view, and this fighter they promoting is not a fighter that you can't fight in the future, I'm talking about Lomachenko, ESPN, Top Rank, BOB ARUM constantly talking about Lomachenko being the pound for pound #1 in the lead up to Crawford versus Amir Khan, instead of promoting Crawford himself. BOB ARUM, coming out of his own mouth, he stated that he never seen a Lomachenko before, but he's seen a Terence Crawford, like a Leonard, which he was referring to the color of the skin. He was not talking about the skill level, because Terence Crawford is a better fighter than a Lomachenko. He the #1 pound for pound. But like I said, instead of promoting Terence Crawford, they out here promoting Lomachenko. And that's coming from his own promoter that's taking 30% of his purse or up to that. And ESPN, the network he fights on, that he holds the biggest viewership on that network. It's not Lomachenko. It's not Tyson Fury. It's Terence Crawford. But they still chooses to promote and spend more money on Lomachenko than a Terence Crawford. And that really don't make sense, because it's Terence Crawford that's going to bring them all the money in the world if he gets the Errol Spence fight, because that's a mega fight. However, who the hell Lomachenko finna fight that's finna bring him that much money? Absolutely no one. They couldn't even make the Mikey Garcia fight happen. So the money man, Terence Crawford, the man that holds the biggest boxing viewership on their network, the man that holds the biggest boxing viewership last year, Terence Crawford, and the #1 pound for pound, instead of promoting him, they chooses to promote Lomachenko instead, and put all their energy in Lomachenko during a Terence Crawford fight. And to make matter worse, they out here promoting a dope fiend better than they promoting Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford got better story than a Tyson Fury. He has a better resume. He a better fighter, a more proven fighter than a Tyson Fury. And they rather promote Tyson Fury as a champion when he's not a champion. They want to call him the lineal champion when he lost the lineal title. a fighter that got caught with steroids in the past. They paid that man more money, and they gave him better promotion, and they compared him to Terence Crawford, fighting a fighter that's ranked number 63, a fighter that just ducked Wilder, and they rather do all that for Tyson Fury than a Terence Crawford. So why should Terence Crawford stick with Top Rank and stay loyal to a company that's not treating him how he should be treated? Please explain that to me, because I don't understand. And I don't know what Terence Crawford is thinking, but he definitely is making the wrong decision if he stays with ESPN, because he's just making it harder on himself. He giving a 30% cut for a big fight with Errol Spence to a promoter that shouldn't be receiving that kind of money. It should be going straight to his pocket. And the smart thing to do is what Floyd Mayweather did when he made himself a billionaire, by leaving BOB ARUM and Top Rank and going straight to Al Heyman. Floyd Mayweather, a perfect example. Even Oscar De La Hoya. If you don't believe me, if you think people being biased to Floyd or whatsoever, even Oscar De La Hoya did the same old thing. So Terence Crawford, on top of all that, to make matter worse, his old promoter that he started with get 8% of his cut as long as he stays signed with Top Rank. So why will Terence Crawford sign with Top Rank again or resign? I don't care what kind of contract they bring him to the table. Terence Crawford, if he feels like no one could beat him and all these fights are available to him on the PBC side, then he should definitely head to the PBC, in my opinion, and be a free agent and just sign to Al Heyman as his manager and advisor. And think about it. Obviously, a lot of people say, oh, well, look at Errol Spence. He not getting none of the big fights. Well, he just fought Mikey Garcia and got paid like $10 million for that fight at least. He getting paid more than Terence Crawford, who been doing it longer. And now Errol Spence finna fight Sean Porter for a belt. So, I mean, at the end of the day, Al Heyman could do his best, but he cannot put a gun on his fighter's head and force them to fight each other. If Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, Sean Porter chose to duck Errol Spence in the past, he can't force them to fight Errol Spence. He could offer them the fight. He an advisor, but he cannot force them to fight. However, he could limit their options and not pay them as much money as they would have gotten if they fight in the fighter they are ducking, right? So if Terence Crawford signs with PBC, Danny Garcia fight is on the line, possibly Keith Thurman fight, possibly even a Manny Pacquiao fight, Errol Spence, Sean Porter, whatsoever. He got better options than Top Rank. So that's the end of discussion. It's more money, better options. Your promoter won't be taking 30% of your cut just to say that there's another fighter that's better than you instead of promoting you. And you could build your legacy. And like I said, it's not Al Heyman and Errol Spence's fault that the likes of Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, and Keith Thurman didn't want to fight Errol Spence in the past. They were scared. It's up to the fighter at the end of the day if he's willing to fight another fighter. You cannot force a fighter to fight. That's their decision. So they got to live with it. But like I said before, Terence Crawford leaving Top Rank is a must at this point. Seeing how they treating Tyson Fury, seeing how they treating Lomachenko, and seeing how they treating him. Like I said, it's not hard to see. A blind man could see this. How they promoting Lomachenko during a Crawford fight, and how they giving Tyson Fury more money and better promotion than their own pound for pound number one with their highest viewership. So it's only common sense. So subscribe below if you're trying to get smarter about the minute. If you're trying to get dumb about a second, don't listen to these casual ass fans. And subscribe to my channel, Aki TV, and follow Latoon Boxing if y'all like the boxing memes y'all see on my videos. Like I said, Terence Crawford need to make the right decision. And peace, and we out of here.